real quick, thought I'd show this. I don't know how many bed plate leaks have been caused by removing the front cover. They're not joking when they say to use a putty knife or something. Look right here. See, that's the front cover. Gasket, that's the block, that's the front cover. Now, first thing I would try to do is separate the gasket from the front cover, like that. See, just a little bit, and try to leave the gasket on the block, right? Just a little. That's gonna leak like, oh. Okay, let's wait a minute because we haven't pulled the block drains. Are you sure?
We pulled them before.
Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Here we go.
I mean, it might
pull this one off now. Let's come over here. Same thing. Look, find a little spot where you can wedge under there. See that right? Closer. See that little spot right there? Now look, go in there and just pop it a little. Try to keep the gasket on. Okay, that's the T-joint right there. See that? That's what you want. Same thing over here. Let's do it again. Take your time. Let's not cost him a gasket, bed plate, because I used to do bed plate seals all the time. But I'm gonna tell you right now, I wanna feel the rotation of the crankshaft anytime we undo the mains. Me personally, now if you're all right with not feeling how it spins, then fine. But it's very easy to tighten the main, tighten all the mains and put the crank in a bind. That's easy to do. And if you're doing a bed plate and you have the connecting rod still attached to the crankshaft, then you cannot tell how hard it is to spin. You cannot tell if one got in a bind and then the crank's hard to spin. You can't tell. So lately I have been not doing bed plates unless we disconnect the connecting rods from the crankshaft, which means pistons need to come out. Now I might change my tune on that. That's just how I'm feeling about bed plate gaskets. Now it's different if it's a horrible leak, absolutely horrible leak, but only about 1% of them are actually horrible leaks. Most of them are just wet, a couple inches on either side. So we can still think about that. If you want to take the bed plate off, I can do that. We've done hundreds and hundreds of them. But it just lately, past couple of times, I've really been going through it in my mind that I like to feel that crankshaft rotate free if I'm going to touch the mains, because once I marry this old girl, she's mine. So I want to make sure, if I'm going to marry it, I want to make sure she's worth marrying, right? So putty knife right there. Let's pull this off. Let's go ahead and do it. See, it still sticks up there, but I don't really care about the top. You guys need to remember, we don't care about the top. All we really care about is down here and here. I don't care about none of that sticking. Let her eat. Who cares? And right here, this is the second half of it. Here and here. These two spots right here, don't play around. You'll pull that bed plate gasket out, you'll stretch it, and you'll actually do more damage than good by trying to do a bed plate. So you can either use a putty knife or a razor blade, because ideally we would cut the plastic away like this, if it'll cut, and then press on it and push it out. See that? See, I left it, right? That's the most ideal, but you can get back behind and scratch it. But what I have done in the past is just do a couple of cuts on it, just with a putty knife, and then put your finger on it and pull it out. See, now we got this out of the way, and we can fine tune this and try to separate the sealant, because they did have some sealant on here, but see, I'd like to have that little nipple right there. See if it'll focus. That's the bed plate gasket right there. Okay, that little guy. We don't want to pull it out too much, because I've shown on a whole bunch of other ones. They don't take too much care. There's no high tack inside of it to hold the gasket. You will stretch that gasket out, and you will wind up with a bigger leak than what you're going in to fix if, you know, say a front cover or something. So right there, that's the best we can get right there. If you look up like this, you might be able to kind of see if it's indented. Oh, well, it doesn't matter. Whatever. You get the idea. I thought I would show that, because you grab that front cover and rip it off, you pull those out. Now you're going to expose the crankshaft. And if you want to do it like you actually have a head on your shoulders, you're going to take all the rods off so that that crank should spin free. And everybody says, I ain't never tightened the crank up, didn't spin free. Yeah, you're full of shit, because I know you're lying. So that's it. Quick little thing. Have a good day, guys.